Right, okay, so this next question was posted by Joe Reed.
Yeah.
And it's a controversial topic because me and Kieran have differing views, so it might end in a fist fight. So going back to Yoast, which is the WordPress SEO plugin, really, really good. If you guys have got WordPress, make sure you download it. He goes, is it better to have all things indexed, for example, product tags, posts, categories, or should some of these be hidden? So within Yoast, you can tick in the back end to say if you don't want Google to index things like tag pages, post pages, category pages, or you can leave them and let Google index them all, which would happen by default. So do you want to explain your thing on this?
I think a lot of this comes around the topic of crawl budget. So Google supposedly has a budget of how many pages it can crawl on a website. So it tends to come down more so for bigger sites, and I think that's where my kind of view comes from on this one. But it tends to come down to bigger sites. If you've got a site with 100,000 pages, Google's going to spend quite a lot of time going through and actually crawling that website. Now, if you're trying to push Google to focus on specific pages that you want to optimize for, specific category pages that maybe you're focusing on from one of your main keywords, you maybe don't want them to look at tag pages and other kind of archive pages, search result pages, whatever. So you would no index them pages so that Google can't see them, and they then just focus on the main pages that you want to kind of have optimized. I think from my point of view, I personally would let Google see everything. I think it comes down to the context of how big your site is. So if you have got a site that's 100, 200,000 pages big, I think then we need to start looking at crawl budget and how that's best spent. But for most startups and most small websites, I don't think it needs to be an issue. I think let Google see all of the pages. It's a good way for them to find kind of blog content, especially if you're kind of maybe blocking category pages and stuff, no indexing category pages. It's a good way for Google to find new content, new posts and stuff that are going live. Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a counter.
No, I agree with all that. I think when it comes to the average startup or small business website, it's a very small website, you don't need to worry about things like crawl budget because you haven't got tens of thousands of pages. Unless you're an e-commerce startup or, I don't know, something that you launch with a huge site, which is a very, very small amount of cases. So I don't think crawl budget is an issue, and I don't think you should do it because of crawl budget. Just what I've seen a lot, and maybe it's something that needs to be done on a case-by-case basis, but sometimes those horrible post pages, category pages, author pages, all of those pages can actually outrank the pages you want to rank for. Let's say I want to rank for personal trainer rugby, then it might be that my category page is ranking above my actual services page because Google doesn't really know which one to use. Just yet I'm a startup, I haven't got many backlinks to my website, and it can get a little bit confusing. It can show the wrong website. In those cases, there's no benefit to having the category or whatever page it is, the tag page, actually ranking above your services page. Is not helping you at all. It's not helping the user. So I would, in those cases, very much no index those pages because they're just going to bring through they're going to bring through traffic, but they're not going to help convert at all. Yeah. So don't worry about it from a crawl budget point of view. But if you don't want those pages to rank and they are starting to rank, maybe some of your phrases, then look to no index them because they're just not going to help you long term.
The only thing I'd say to counter that is there may be a reason as to why they're ranking above your main services page. It may be that main service page isn't optimized as well as it could be. Maybe a lot of it comes down to keyword density as well, which is another kind of hole of the topic, but a lot of it comes down to keyword density as well. So maybe there's not enough mentions of that topic or content around that topic on them pages. Maybe the page itself is too short. There's a lot that you can look into. So I think it's a tough one to kind of give a definitive answer on this one, but I think, like Andy said, don't take it based on crawl budget. Maybe do it on a case-by-case basis. And if you've exhausted all other options, then potentially look to no index. I'd say as a last resort, maybe not so in every case, but yeah, case by case basis. If you have a case where that's actually happening, drop it in the comments and we could look and we could basically recommend as to what we think you should do. We'd probably differ on what we recommend, but
and in the comments, mention who won, who you think won that battle.